Man, I've said it before and I'll say it again. There is something about peak paver season. Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, it's the best time of the year.
Yes. There's a few holiday seasons I love. There's Christmas, right?
There's
a wonderful time of year.
Thanksgiving.
And then third, peak
paver season. What's peak paver season, Josh?
Well, it's a time of year where people like you and people like me begin thinking about putting pavers in our yards, our driveways, wherever really we want that quick refresh to make our homes look more beautiful. And the good news this year is our friends at Ruther Materials have you covered. Ruther Materials are located in Succassana and North Bergen, and they carry Nicolock pavers. Ooh. What is a Nicolock block? You might be asking yourself. Well, just a few weeks back, Josh Chomick and I got to drive to Sussex County, New Jersey, and see these beautiful paver stones being built right here in the Garden State. Nicolock has a variety of colors and options for your home project. So if you're looking to get that refresh going and you want to, not everybody observes peak paver season.
No.
I will say we have different religions.
But hey, highly recommended.
But I would say it should be a universal one. So if you're looking to get that patio set up, reach out to Ruther Materials. Look for those Nicolock blocks and be sure to tell them we sent you.
Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You're listening to Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
I'm Josh Chomick.
I'm Jimmy Parks.
And I'm Jordan Morris.
Wow.
Now everyone knows who's here.
Yeah, so we're gonna try that again. I think we could go back next week to the previous version we were doing.
The conversational?
Yeah, we could just keep bouncing between them and just see if one eventually sticks. But Josh, the way you said your name there was very Brady Bunch-like.
Really?
I'm Josh Chomick.
Is that how they did it in the Brady Bunch?
I don't know. I picture like, didn't they do that in the intro? Like, I am Jemima.
No,
they just had
No.
all their faces pop up.
What's
I
that
don't
from?
think-
Have you
What's
ever
the-
watched
What
the-
show is that from?
I'm Jemima.
That's not anybody's name, but they just say their names, and it would be like weird mid-century names like Jemima.
It sounds like it
Like Aunt
would have
Jemima.
happened. I just don't remember it.
It did not happen on the Brady Bunch.
What show was that?
Brady Bunch was a great show.
Was?
I haven't
I'm trying
watched
to
that in
think of
years.
what it was.
Gilligan's
Was it Full
Island?
House?
Gilligan's Island. Another great intro right there. Can't forget about the Full House intro.
Of course.
Amazing.
Oh, it's iconic.
Family Matters. Oh,
The Brady Bunch. Each character in is shown in a grid. Hold on.
Yeah.
yeah, but they're not.
But they're
like,
not saying
saying
their names.
You're right. What show was that? That's the first one that came up when I searched it. The Brady Bunch.
the Power Rangers.
I thought there was a show where everyone comes out and they say like, "Hey, I'm Tony." No.
Maybe someone call into the mailbag and let us know
Yeah,
if you remember a
Where-
show
where-
that did that. But I don't recall.
Yeah.
Where are the boomer listeners? We need them to chime in here. Hey guys, welcome back to the Garden State podcast. We have some interesting news for you this week. We have some mailbags we're going to get into, of course. But we like to start every week just chopping it up a little bit, talking about life, talking about what's going on. Jordan, I'm interested to hear from you because you texted us last night at like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Are you able to talk about what we texted about?
I don't see why not.
Because you texted us like abysmal, negative, this state is falling apart over the apartment thing. And
Yeah.
what prompted all that? I was curious.
So I went to a zoning board meeting. I don't know have you guys ever been to zoning board meetings?
No.
This is Jordan here with a quick editor's note. In this section, we should be saying planning board, not zoning board. So please keep that in mind, and please don't hate on us or be mean to us. Thank you.
So it's, typically something where nobody is there. I mean, they said it where it's like there's no one from the public that usually goes. But this was over a particular development in my town where they are pretty much just maxing out like what the law will allow them to build.
We call that build out in the biz.
Yeah.
Build out?
Yeah.
So they're building out.
And essentially what they do is they handcuff the zoning boards. So it's like they have two options. It's like you either pass it or you get sued and it goes through anyways.
Wow.
So it's like there's literally no winning with it.
So this is something I think we should kind of laser focus in on this summer is we've talked for a while about the apartments. Sometimes it feels like you're just like the, you know that meme, like old man waves fist at sky. Mm-hmm. It feels a little bit like that where we're just kind of griping. But I think we should highlight specific instances that will relate with the listeners. And maybe on the social media pages, we go around to different cities and talk about what's going on. You know, I said I want to go down to Jackson. Jackson's having a weird issue right now where with overdevelopment, and it just feels like this is become the MO of our state. And a lot of people feel discouraged and like there's nothing we can do. And I think the best thing we can do is talk about it at least.
Yeah.
So did you leave feeling discouraged? What'd you feel?
Yeah, because it's like you had,
Was there an open mic or was there open forum at this thing?
So yeah, so there's public comments. There's also public questions where you could ask the the lawyers and the architects and stuff questions, but it's useless. I mean, you have people up there. You literally had like a councilman who's on the board who like walked out crying basically because like there's nothing we could do. It's like we're completely
Wow,
handcuffed
it's very
with this.
discouraging.
Yeah, and to make it worse, you had like the owner there, the developer, kind of mocking people, like
Really?
the people in the community. Yeah, or it's just like, all right,
Who's
like,
the developer? What's his name?
I have no idea, but it would be.
But yeah, you guys said you wanted to make like a
man.
man on the street video, like on the property, right?
Yeah, I want to go over because if this is local to your family, we should talk about it, and then we should go around the state. There's a lot of townships where people. This is the crazy thing is there are townships where people feel like they have no say in how their community goes forward. This happened to my parents in the town they live in. A huge apartment complex went up, and I did go to the town hall meeting. I don't know if it was a zoning meeting or maybe it was a zoning meeting actually. Me and my dad went, and it was the packed room full of people freaking out saying, we don't want this building here. The schools can't handle, the infrastructure can't. And guess what? The township is, kind of has their hands tied from the state. And it just feels like, why are all these local municipalities not joining together in some way to push back? It feels like every time I hear about a town, everybody says exactly what you landed on is the legal fees would be too much. But it's like there's strength in numbers. If you have 20 towns come together, I know originally there were a few towns talking about it. Something has to be done.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing is I feel like we talk about a lot of issues, like the issues for the upcoming election. People talk about housing, school, health. I think the apartment thing is the number one issue in the state.
Oh, I think so too.
Because from it springs every other issue. If your schools are overcrowded, it's because there's a lack of development planning, and you're bringing too many people into the school. So I think it's all connected.
It is, and that's like some of the points that people made where they're bringing up the fact that our schools here are already overpopulated to the point where we had to buy a new school and like all this stuff, and it's like now you're bringing in even more people.
Yeah.
In in a spot where, like I said, they're completely maxing out what's allowed by law.
Was there video of this?
Of the meeting, yeah.
Is the developer on video?
I assume he would be in the video too.
We gotta get that.
Yeah.
We should clip that.
But it's just like,
But it always feels like the town never wins. It's like same with Cranberry, how they're trying to take the 175 acre farm.
yeah.
And even like the Trump administration is like backing them now, and like
Yeah.
they show
Really?
their support.
That happened?
Yeah, that came out in the news this week. I didn't read too much into it, but it seems like just at the end of the day, you're gonna have so much support, but at the end of the day, the state wins.
Yeah, it's
And
like
they're gonna build
the law
there.
is technically on their side, but there are things that like the zoning boards and stuff can do. Like in this situation, they changed the zoning of this particular area to allow this. So it's like
That's crazy.
it's their fault. So, there's certain things that your town council.
Wow.
And the board can
you
do.
guys weren't kidding. The Federal Department of Agriculture was in contact with the owners of that farm.
Yeah.
So that is interesting. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I have to see when the next meeting is, when they're going to finalize everything with that. But yeah, we're rooting for that farm.
Yeah, but I don't know the platforms of the candidates, and I know this podcast for the listeners, if this is your first time listening, we don't usually just talk, deeply contentious political issues the whole time. But I was curious, between the two candidates running right now, are either of them talking about the Mount Laurel decision or anything related to that form of housing, or is it all just the same talk track?
I've just seen, Jack show his support for the farm, but I honestly haven't looked too much into it. So they both could have. I don't know.
We should put pressure on both of them. We should make a social media campaign to only talk about apartments, and then make them have to talk about it.
We should make a separate page just for this topic.
Yeah, like talk
Just
to us about the
blow it up.
apartments. Or we could ambush them. Like we get one of them to come in and we're like, yeah, we wanted to talk to you about like your favorite sports team. And then we're like, so what's your plan with the apartments? And we just talk about that for 40 minutes straight.
Yeah, well, like we said last week, just put them both in the same room at the same time. Surprise them.
See, yeah, I don't want to talk about it anymore because we go down a rabbit hole of of like political theory, and
Yeah.
it's not even worth getting into. We could just highlight the issues and let people in New Jersey are smart. We have a great kind of populace of people that are well educated and they have a good finger on the pulse. But I think most people don't have the time to dig into these issues. So if we could just do that work for them and give them the issue, I think people will do the
It's the
rest.
everyday New Jersey, and like people just want to go to work, make their money, come home, hang out with the family.
Yeah.
No one wants to be like immersed in politics.
And I think that's the issue with local politics is that like nobody dives super. I mean, there are people, but most people aren't diving super deep. Like they care more about stuff on the state or federal level, but it's like stuff happening in your town with your zoning board.
Well, yeah, like for the zoning board meeting, how many people would you say were at the meeting?
it was completely packed. It was probably 50, 60. Like the room was completely full. It's not.
But
a
you're
huge
saying
room.
like 60 people.
Yeah, like 60. I don't know.
Out of the whole town, though, that's not many people, I feel.
No, but I mean, you couldn't even fit any more people. But like, on a local level, like zoning board, they're unelected people. So it's like you have these unelected people who are, making
They're just put
decisions,
there.
who are, impacting your life, potentially impacting the value of your property, like doing all this stuff. And it's like, they have a bigger impact than the president a lot of times on your like
Listen,
day-to-day
Jordan,
life.
I'm proud of you for going to the zoning board meeting.
Yeah.
You're going to bring change to your town.
I mean, I didn't say anything. I just listened.
I know, but maybe you should speak up next time and, help the family out.
I'll consider it.
Well, we could talk about something more positive than the inevitable demise of New Jersey from apartment buildings.
That is positive.
No,
What are you talking about?
it's weird. It's weird because true story, made my coffee this morning, walking down the stairs, to go out my house to get in my truck. And I was thinking, I'm just becoming more of an optimist. I've just decided I'm going to be more of an optimist.
Wow, Josh.
Out of the blue?
Yeah, because what I realized is
What a wake-up call.
What I realized is it is not an American trait to go doom and gloom because things aren't going your way. We got to fight back.
Josh, this is huge for you.
I'm done. Listen, there's hope yet. The game is not over. That we can still have hope that things could change. It might not be change in the next 10 years, but it might take a 20 or 30 year play. But to make the world better for our kids, you got to have hope. You can't sit around going, New Jersey's done. If it's done, then I got to leave. That's the reality. Like if you really feel like the state's
just
it's
get out
over,
of here then.
you need to leave. But if you feel like you can fight back and we can win back the state, and you could maybe local townships could have power and say in how they an autonomy and how they rule themselves. You got to actually believe that's possible. I mean, crazier things have happened in the world. No, I mean, like, I was reading about El Salvador yesterday. I went to El Salvador when I was like 16, and they had like a serious like murder issue. There were, I think, in 2022, there were like 6,000 murders in El Salvador.
I think they had like the most per capita.
Yeah, it's
in
like
the
it was
world or something.
it was
like,
extremely
at least
dangerous.
up there.
And then they just like decided, let's resolve this. They got a new leader, and they resolved it in like a year. There were like
It happened quickly.
There were like 100 murders last year, and it made me go, things could just be fixed. Like if people want to fix stuff, you got to be an optimist and go, enough people need to care, and things can change. Things can always flip. And I'm going to be optimistic until I leave. If I leave New Jersey and go, hey, there's too many apartment buildings and I can't afford to live here, then I'll become a pessimist. But for now, I'm gonna stay in the fight
That's
a
great.
little bit longer.
That's the
And
way
I
to
think
do
you
it,
guys should
baby.
too.
Josh, I love the encouragement.
Yeah, I mean that's my my TED talk for this week. So
Hit that one mailbag we got this week. It's kind of relating to the topic we're talking about right now.
let's crack open the mailbag. When I heard this, I was like, you know what? That's kind of funny because that's exactly what I was thinking this morning. So let's check in with Jay.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Good morning. This is Jay from the RED podcast. I know you guys remember us from the pizza party through a while back over in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Listen, I was just calling in. I was listening to your episode from last week about how a lot of people in New Jersey nowadays, they really feel as if their voices don't matter, right? They have this sense of why bother if it doesn't matter, right? Nothing's going to change. It's interesting because I read a post that in the early 2000s, it was a fight against nihilism, right? Not giving up, even though we're facing a sense of despair. And now in 2020, it's like nihilism won. Like so many of us are just so quick to give up without even trying to put up a fight. So it's sad. I mean, what can we do? You know, what can we do as New Jerseyans? I don't know, guys. You guys have the answer?
It's a good call.
Thank you for the call, Jay.
You know, it goes back to what I was saying there for a second, just about the fact that we can't give up on hope. Listen, we're Americans. We need to fight back. You're giving up. I won't give in to nihilism if you guys won't, but we got to fight back. People got to grow a spine.
Ooh.
Say no to these tyrants that want to rule your life and tell you how to live. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm an optimist now. For at least the next 5 minutes, I'm being optimistic. Thank you for that call, Jay.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, in all
Wait,
seriousness...
next 5 minutes, Josh. No, you have this speech. I want you to hold this up for a year minimum.
I think...
Because the change is
5
not going to
minutes
happen
isn't gonna do
overnight. Yeah,
anything.
you got to be working for like a year, 2 years. Some things take longer, bro.
20 years, 30
Yeah, 30.
years, 40.
He's right, though. He's
A
right.
lifetime.
You're going to have to die here, Josh.
He's right. I mean, maybe we could... We just got to really focus on issue by issue what we want to tackle and get people, talking about it.
We just got to get this podcast big enough where we're able to just, control the tone of New Jersey. We should be able to, take over all these politicians and be able to bring the change we need and want in this state.
Well,
just by the click of a button.
I just think that all you need to do is have a platform where people can hear about stuff. It doesn't have to be you telling people what to think. You literally just need to show people what's going on and let them draw their own conclusions. And I do believe that there are enough people with common sense that'll get fed up. There are a lot of people without common sense. I will also say that. There are a lot of people where I go on
everywhere.
Facebook, the town page, and I read comments and I go, how do people get dressed in the morning? What is going on in our state?
Sometimes it makes me feel better about myself.
That's what I was just about to say. Like seeing people like that.
Yeah, I
makes you
think we're,
feel so
I think
good.
we're
Like,
all right.
okay.
It's like,
based off what other people are doing.
If they're able to live, so can I.
You're right. I mean, like, it's even scarier when you think that sometimes people that are embrazened with, they're just ignorant. They don't really have clear conclusions in their mind, but they're confident and they make it to amazing places in life. That's the scarier thing.
So many people live in bubbles, right? Like, a lot of my friends that I know, it's like, oh, did you hear about this like crazy world event that happened? They're like, no, I don't like watch the news or read the news or like care.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. A lot of people don't want to care about politics. They don't want to care about like the madness that's happening in our world because it's just so overwhelming at times.
Sometimes it makes me think like, oh, I kind of wish I was like that. I think I'd be a lot happier.
Well, I think that's the resolve. And that is, I think...
You're stuck with us, Jim.
You guys ever see the meme where there's like an IQ bell curve?
Yeah.
And it's like on the low end, the person says something dumb. And then there's the middle, the midwit that has like the commonplace opinion. And then the high end IQ person, their perspective matches the low IQ person. So it'd be like the low IQ person says politics doesn't matter. When I vote, nothing changes. The middle person would be like, you need to be engaged. And then the high IQ person would just be like, politics doesn't matter. If I vote, nothing changes. Right? Like that's kind of, I think, the perspective culturally is like you reach a point where you're like, it's making me anxious. It's making me stressed to be involved in these local conversations. I'd rather just go to work, come home and watch Netflix, hang out with my family, go to the park, and not deal with any of it. But that's not the American spirit, unfortunately. That's not the legacy we've inherited. So we have to fight back in some way if there's something we don't like. And I'm talking specifically about the apartments. I mean, there's other things we could talk about, but the apartment thing is a little egregious. So why don't we move on to from the apartments? We talked for like 15 minutes about that.
Yeah.
Let's move on really quick to a quick weekend recap. I'm curious what you guys have been up to. And then we'll dive into some more mailbag calls. Thank you, Jay, for that call, by the way.
Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
Wow.
I'm having fun with I haven't played with the sound effects in a while on this board. We have to update it for Christmas.
Yeah, we have Christmas ones still.
A lovely cheese pizza just for me.
Sorry.
So what'd you guys do this weekend? We're already going into a new weekend, but this week, let's just say.
Oh, it was Josh Sobo's big weekend.
Was it?
It was Father's Day.
Oh, yeah. Father's Day.
Hey!
Father's Day weekend, yeah.
You
It
get
was
anything
great.
cool? You get to celebrate and do anything fun? Or
We hung out with just family and ate some good food. And my wife tried to make me a tiramisu.
I saw the photo. Was it good?
It was delicious. She tried to, I say tried to, because she was trying to make me the Nostos tiramisu.
Yeah.
Which is like just tiramisu. It was excellent. She crushed it. And that was my big moment as I got tiramisu.
Wow.
It was great. Father's Day weekend was awesome. Although I will say, guys, nonstop rain in New Jersey every weekend. And I was wondering about the drought situation. Jimmy, could you give us a little drought update? What are we looking at right now regarding, because we've been in a drought for since last fall.
I think we're almost out of it, but I think Jim can give us the numbers.
So I think what we all need to remember is there are different types of droughts. You have a water supply drought, and then you have like your groundwater drought. You have an agricultural drought. There's all different types of droughts. So what most people hear about is your water supply drought. So
We need the water.
correct. As of June 17th, Northwest, New Jersey, Central, Coastal, North, Southwest drought regions are normal. But the Coastal South drought region is still in a drought watch.
Okay.
So like
Good to know.
that means like they still need how much rain? Would you
I don't
say
know. I
a
have
few
no idea.
inches, or are we talking maybe just an inch?
No, I would say a few.
A few inches?
I would imagine a few.
But I think everyone in New Jersey is already sick of all the rain. Like we had this drought, and then everyone's like, we need the rain, and then the rain came, didn't stop every weekend.
But
Terrible.
you know what?
And
It's
now
not
people
like
want the
we've
sun again.
It's not like we've had downpours though.
No, that's the thing. It's been worse than that. It's
There's
just been like
that
dreary.
annoying mist all day long.
Yeah, it's very depressing.
I hate it. I will say one thing I weirdly like for a little bit is a dense fog. And I live
In the mornings, give me dense fog every day of the week.
I live on the top of a hill, so where I'm at, it feels like the fog is even more dense than when I come down to this area. But I looked out my window this morning. I swear, I could not see more than like 7 feet out the
It
window.
was thick.
It was so
It
thick.
was cool.
Very ominous. But I will say, yeah, I agree about the rain. It's kind of crazy that the rain always seems to line up with our weekends, and this has been a
Yeah,
phenomenon.
while everyone's out in the office during the week, it's beautiful, sunny, it's hot, and then like weekend comes and you're just stuck inside because it's terrible.
It's crazy, and
But change is coming, and we have a story about that.
it
this week.
really has to do with the cloud seeding. We've talked about that. I'm kidding.
That's, hey, another New Jersey problem you can tackle, Josh. There you go.
Remember when we went down that rabbit hole with what was it, Dubai? That
Yeah.
they had a flood. No, it's kind of crazy that the rain keeps coming, but it looks like we are entering into some warm weather, and we'll get into a news story about that. But before we do that, let's crack open our mailbag and see what the listeners are saying. We have two more we want to get into. Josh, what's that number for the listeners?
908 67 99 99 3.
Hey, gents. Nick from Phillipsburg, driving on beautiful Route 80. It's finally open. Anyway, listening to the podcast, you're talking about keys of the ignition and drunk driving and not having keys in your ignition. You check with your legal scholars on that. Cars haven't had ignitions in a long time. Just go into your car and push your button. So, not sure about the whole key in the ignition thing. Maybe check in with a lawyer from Jersey or something. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.
I think it's your keys have to be outside of your vehicle.
Oh, so they can't even be like in my passenger seat where I usually keep them.
I'm pretty sure it's outside the vehicle.
Because like out of all four of us here, who actually has to put the key in the ignition? I know Josh does.
This sounds extremely privileged, sir, calling in. I drive a 22-year-old pickup truck with a key, and that's
He's like, no one has ignitions anymore.
Nick, that's my life experience. I put a key in the ignition and I turn it. And you know what? Okay, my wife's car does have push to start, I will say. But not all of us wake up, and have to move money bags out of the way to get down to our vehicles, Nick.
We're not all like Jordan over here.
Not all like Jordan with his Lexus.
Ugh, gross.
Jordan, you got to push to start.
Rich.
I do. But isn't it that if you're on the road, even if you don't have your key, if you're in the driver's seat, wouldn't you get in trouble? It's just like how if you have like an unregistered vehicle sitting in the street, it doesn't matter if somebody's driving it or not. Like you could still get in trouble for it.
I don't remember what this original conversation was about. Like
I
when
think
we were talking
I think it was about
this.
drunk driving.
If you're drunk driving, if you're in like the roadway, but like your keys are not in the car, the car's not turned on
No, I think you can't have the keys.
I think it's
in
just,
the actual vehicle.
I think it's even if you're just sitting in the
But
driver's
also-
seat.
Yeah.
I think great. Like We're not talking about drunk driving. Like, we're not encouraging drunk driving here. That's what it just made it sound like.
We're trying to find reasons to get around it.
We're trying to find a loophole.
Never.
We've
We do
gone
not
from-
encourage.
from-
But I forget like where this conversation like initially started from and why we were
Started
talking
with
about
like
that.
the texting and driving.
Yeah,
thing,
it
and then,
started
It
there
happened
last
after Jordan's little incident last week
like
with the police.
at a stoplight.
Yeah, that's
where
what I
it's
thought.
like-
But how do we reach
And
to?
then because we were
drunk
trying to
driving
figure
from
out
there?
like what the lines are of like what counts as you know,
So-
texting and driving. Like if your car's in park or like
So the core legal concept is if you're in actual physical control of the vehicle. So what that breaks down to is where are you seated? So if you're in the driver's seat, it strongly suggests control,
I would
obviously.
assume.
Are the keys in the ignition or easily accessible? So that's what I'm reading here says. To Nick's point, maybe the keys are in your cup holder in the center. You know, that's where I guess things get more murky because your keys could be my keys have been in the backseat. I can start my car.
yeah, like, as long as they're in the car, you can start. it.
Is the engine running? Are you on a public road, private property, or parked? Was the vehicle recently driven or warm? Were you trying to sleep it off or planning to drive? So I think it's circumstantial, and I think that's where, the law is not always black and white, right? I think sometimes there's situational things, and that's why, you should keep your mouth shut and just probably get a lawyer if you're sleeping in your car and a police officer comes along. I mean, not that, like we're saying, like this is not something any of us would ever engage with. I think it's interesting though how it's kind of murky.
But it's good that we're talking about it because we might have a listener considering it, and we might change their mind today.
If you consume alcohol and drive a vehicle, you're an idiot and you should go to jail.
That's a good point.
I don't know if you guys thought about that.
That is a very fair point.
Josh dropping bombs on us right now.
Yeah, I mean was that a DJ Clue bomb or a Funkmaster Flex bomb? Excuse me. I don't know.
But yeah, I never actually thought about that, like, because I know the whole keys and ignition thing, but like, yeah, our cars are push to start, so it's like, where does that lie? Like, it's very interesting.
I feel like
I'm
it's
happy
kind
this guy
of
called about it.
a gray area because, like you said, it's like even if your engine is warm, like there's like a lot of different things. Where it's like you're in the driver's seat.
Cop's gonna come out with a thermometer.
Are you in public
How
property?
hot is this right now?
Yeah, so it seems like it's a little.
When's the last time you turned this thing on? You just turn it off.
Subjective.
It's tricky. I mean, like, just don't drink and drive. I mean,
Well, that makes it easier, yeah. Or just get an Uber.
yeah. Pick up the car tomorrow.
It's crazy how our world is built to kind of nerf everything. Like there are ways around everything now. You could call an Uber. Like think about that. Mm-hmm. I don't get why people do what they do. Especially like last year with the Johnny Gradeau thing. Remember that? Like what are people doing? I don't know. Nonetheless, this is the topic of the conversation wasn't related to DUIs originally. It was
texting and driving.
Texting and driving because we were curious at what point is it driving the vehicle, right? If I'm sitting at a red light looking at my phone, what happens there?
Yeah.
And obviously you get a ticket. But all right, let's move on to another call here. This is from Zach in Ocean County. Let's hear what he has to say.
What's up, Garden State? This is Zach from Ocean County. Wanted to call in and tell you about a Jersey project I'm doing. Like Chomik, I'm a runner. We now follow each other on Strava too.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. But I'm working on a goal of running a 5K in every county of New Jersey. As we know, there's 21 counties, and I've currently done 3 counties: Ocean County, Cape May County, and Burlington County, and have upcoming races in Passaic and Gloucester County. Just wanted to share that exciting Jersey goal, and if you guys want to come run along, come out and support the goal, or even sponsor your boy, let's do it. Anyways, keep up the great work. Peace and love, guys. Bye.
Thank you for the call, Zach. That's freaking awesome, dude.
Josh and Zach are Strava buddies.
I'm on your Strava right now going through it, and it seems like a really awesome project. Like, that's something I would want to do.
That is cool.
Yeah, like do a 5K in every single county.
Yeah, and I would say a great 5K to run for what county is Hoboken in?
Hudson
County. Great Hudson County 5K. The Pizza 5K in Hoboken. You run a 5K,
then you have pizza,
and then they have thousands of boxes of pizza. And you just eat
oh,
pizza.
Nice.
I didn't actually eat the pizza because I wasn't a runner at the time.
Yeah,
I'm not a runner now, but
you
I wasn't
are a runner.
But I ran it and felt like I was going to die after running a 5K. Literally, like that was how out of shape I was.
What time of year is this happened? I remember you did it, but like that's when I didn't run yet.
Yeah, it was really fun, and you get pizza at the end. So
the best part.
I just want to say, like, dude, I just shout out to Zach. Thank you for calling into the mailbag. That's an awesome project you got going on.
You should run one with him.
I would love to, man. Like I just did finish my 28th run. I'm on a roll. and my foot's better, and I'm feeling great. And I'm very encouraged by all this Strava motivation from everyone. So thank you guys for following me on Strava and following my journey. It's been fun, and I want to eventually run a 5K. I'm doing the 4 miler July 4th in Cranford. That's gonna be really fun. We're gonna be selling merch too, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, if you want to mention that, and then eventually half marathon, ultra. I want to do it all.
shoot.
I got it, dude. And now,
You go for
Jordan,
an
you've been
ultra?
on Strava every day.
Yeah.
You've been back in it.
Yeah, I've been trying to work my way back into it.
Let's
I just
go,
been keeping
dude.
it slow though, because I'm not trying to
hurt yourself.
I'm not trying to do what you did, but
Dude, it's addicting, and it feels like I start my mornings. I feel so good after it.
yeah.
What time do you run at?
Usually 5:30 in the morning. Try to get home by 6:10.
So you wake up at 5?
Yeah, stretch, have a drink, and then I'll go.
You have a drink.
Yeah, get my electrolytes.
Oh, okay.
Come
I
on.
just want to clarify. We were talking about DUIs before there. This is,
Well, everyone has their
Have a
own
cold,
way to
hard
warm up
drink.
for a run. You never know what kind of rush you need.
but no, thanks, Zach. That's a cool idea. If you ever find any up here in the North Jersey area that you think Chomik should run with you,
Yeah, Union County too. I think there was one this past week in your town, Jordan. I think Eric ran it. It was a 5K.
Was there?
Yeah, Eric and Anthony just ran it. I forgot. I'll show you it later. But yeah, I think there's 5Ks all over the place. If you find one in Union County, Zach, let me know. I'd love to run it.
all right. That was a great call. Now let's get into some news on the week. A weird week of news here. I like to be honest. Sometimes the news, I'm like, holy smokes, this is you have 5-star stories, banger after banger. Some of these are kind of random.
We got a 3-star week, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
3.5.
We can't make up news, and this is the thing. It's we can give you 5 headlines, but we can't invent a headline if it doesn't exist. Although that's not the worst idea to you ever think about that? Maybe we should make our own news stories.
Dude, we totally missed out on April 1st for April Fool's Day. We always talk about making fake news, but that would have been the day to do it.
That, but also if it's a week of news.
Yeah, week.
A week.
Week.
Not a strong week of news. What if we had Jordan go, a local man steals 40 pounds of dog food from Walmart? We could just have him do stuff like that. Get the headline, get the clip.
Get him to actually steal the food though, so it's real.
Yeah, and then
that's not a headline. I don't have to do something interesting with the food.
Start eating it.
I start eating the food.
Yeah. Eat the whole bag as a
you
challenge.
can do better than that.
You'd probably be allergic to it.
Yeah,
a New Jersey
they put
man
milk in it.
stole 40 pounds of dog food from a Walmart only to dump it on the counter of a McDonald's. Something like that. It would have to be something, you have to add a twist there at the end.
July 4th is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen, which means we have our brand new Garden State 4th of July tees on sale today.
This is a shirt for the patriots out there. For the people that want to live free. For the men and women of this nation, specifically New Jersey, that want to look really sharp this 4th of July.
They look so good. We re-released our white ones, and this year we have a brand new version in black, which Josh and I are wearing right now. Very comfortable. It looks amazing. The color pop's great. So if you want to get this shirt before the 4th of July, order today on thegardenstate.com. Free shipping on every single order. You're guaranteed to look the best at your 4th of July party if you rock this tee this 4th of July.
This is the shirt to wear if you're looking to run the party. You want to show up to a 4th of July party and you're the point person everyone's looking to for all the, what are we doing? What's going to be the fun part of this party?
You want to be that guy.
You're the guy.
Trust me, you want to be that guy.
You want to be that guy.
Yeah.
So you're can jam.
Listen,
fireworks, hot dogs.
Come on.
You become that person when you put the shirt on. Just saying. And if you don't have a chance to buy one online, the last chance to buy one will be on the 4th of July, the morning of, at the Firecracker 4 Miler in Cranford.
Josh is running the booth.
I will be live hanging out in a booth selling shirts. So if you want to come through then to get a shirt, feel free. Otherwise, I'm going to advise you to order them this week because we're shipping them out. If you want to wear them on the 4th, this is really your timeline to get one. So
support the Garden State, support the program, thegardenstate.com.
We'll figure it out.
So let's get into the news. First story here, lining it up, talking about weird stories. A New Jersey man forced a dog to kill a hawk and a cat for social media videos.
They're doing everything for views these days.
Yeah, and of course, this is the type of stuff that really gets our local government fired up. They're really concerned about the hawks and the cats. Not that, I love animals. Don't get me wrong. But it's not like there's a million other crises happening around our state. We're going to lose sleep over the hawk that lost its life to a dog. So here we go. Law enforcement officials in New Jersey have arrested a man who they claim encouraged a pair of pit bull type dogs to attack. Pit bull type? What does that mean?
So it's not a pit bull, but it's like a type
they
of.
just look like it.
It kind of looks like a pit bull. We're not sure what it is.
Yeah,
though.
they're not really sure what it is.
It's a pit bull type.
It looks like a pit bull. It's aggressive. We'll just run with it.
Oh, man. The pit bull defenders are not going to like that. Do you know that's a thing?
Yeah.
There's people that are like, pit bulls are it's the way they're
Every
raised.
time we do a story about a pit bull like attacking a child or something, everyone's like, it's not the pit bull's fault.
So they encouraged a pair of pit bull type dogs to attack and kill a red-tailed hawk and a cat for videos, then posted it on social media. On Tuesday, New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin announced the arrest and charging of Ibn Lloyd, 38 of Newark, on charges related to the creation of these social media videos, along with charges related to the alleged operation of a controlled substance production facility and other drug and weapons offenses. So this guy was just doing a lot of bad stuff.
Not good. I mean, like, why post this on social media?
So
Just for clout.
Yeah, but like it's so wrong.
People are very
It's such an easy
stupid.
way to give yourself away.
So in a statement on the arrest, Platkin said Lloyd has been charged along with 7 others. So this is a gang of people. Anaya Arrington, Kenneth Benbow, Jose Thornton, Daryl Bullock, Daryl Mitchell, and Terrence Herring. So this is the crew. Oh, there's one more, Cornelius Utley.
So these are all on drug offenses now. Like we're moving from like he kind of gave himself away filming these dogs killing a cat and a bird, and now it's like him and his crew, they're getting charged on drug offenses.
Yeah, so in the course of investigating drug trafficking in the city of Newark, law enforcement officials also uncovered evidence of extraordinary animal cruelty, said Platkin in a statement on the arrest. Diligent police work resulted in our charging this defendant for those acts, as well as serious drug and weapons offenses. So this guy starts off...
Gave himself away.
He starts off by abusing a hawk, a red-tailed hawk, which is
Beautiful
so
bird.
random.
Beautiful bird.
Is it a beautiful bird?
Yes.
What does that look like?
A red-tailed hawk? Look it up. It's awesome. Dude, their like wingspan is crazy when you see them in the wild. I love them. I've been like into shooting birds lately.
That is a really cool bird.
It's a really cool Jersey
Photographing
find.
birds.
Yeah, it's a good Jersey find. I got pics. I could show you.
You said shooting birds.
Yeah, with my camera. And
That's
I'm
why
not killing
I
them.
clarified.
Gosh, you guys.
I like birds. I will say
They're
cool.
They're cool. They're a cool thing that we got going on.
They're a good species.
There's many species of birds.
That's why I like the red-tailed hawk.
That's the top one right now.
I think Chomick needs to learn what a species is first.
I know what a species is, Jimmy. Stop coming at me, bro.
So guys, Platkin arrested this guy and his crew. Well, I guess that's a good thing. You know, the drug stuff is terrible. The bird stuff is terrible as well. I guess the message here is if you're going to do something really stupid, don't film it and put it on the internet.
Yes.
Yeah, especially if you're dealing drugs and
It's
have
so simple, dude.
Yeah, I
Are
wonder
you
if
guys-
weapons.
Is this just my feed, right? There's a lot of videos of like kids blowing up like milk jugs full of gasoline.
No.
Oh, that sounds
Jimmy,
awesome.
you got an interesting
they,
feed, brother.
Like they go up into like a parking lot or
on
something
what
at night.
platform?
TikTok, Instagram.
Really?
I haven't seen that on my feed yet.
And then like they take like a little firework and like put it light next to it, and then and it's like what? Like,
Huh.
One, what possesses you to do that? And two,
It's cool.
do you like you really think it's smart to put that on the internet? Like people are gonna see that.
Yeah, you know, we talked about this last week with the kid that wasn't there a story last week about someone? Oh, that's a nice photo, Josh.
Do you know
His
what kind of
mom.
bird? Do you know what kind of bird this is? I took these. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a white-breasted sparrow.
It's an osprey.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Same
my
thing.
goodness.
Look at the wingspan though. The thing's gorge. Look at that thing.
Very nice.
Colors.
So,
Into birds.
interesting. A lot of time on your hands, man.
Dude, a white-breasted. What did you say?
A white-breasted sparrow.
No.
I just made that up. So yeah, no, it's a good point. If you're gonna do something illegal, maybe don't put it on social media. But I think
I mean, just don't do anything
Yeah, I was
illegal
about
in
to say,
general.
maybe just don't do it.
Yeah,
so
but
easy.
It's a tale as old as time. Kids are gonna break the law.
I mean, you're not taking your dog to kill a cat and a bird. Josh, you're sick.
No, I agree. I think that this should have never
And also,
happened
that's
to begin with.
disgusting.
I still think pit bull type dogs is an amazing.
Like, don't you think they would have found out what kind of dog it was before like they wrote the article?
I guess. I
have
mean,
no
I don't
idea.
know. I didn't see the video. Is the video online still?
I don't think so. It probably would have got removed. Yeah, I don't think I want to watch that.
Yeah. So I wonder if Matt Platkin ever sees our videos and goes, "I want to arrest these guys."
I would love him to call in or come through.
Let's move on to another story here.
Dark story.
The world's largest indoor-themed mini putting and luxury bowling destination opens this week in Edison, New Jersey.
I have questions.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have questions.
Okay, Jim.
Who determines these world's largest things? Like, is there actually a list of these
they
facilities?
got stats. And that's why, dude, Edison, New Jersey, they're opening up the world's largest everything.
No,
I don't know.
That's a fair question because how many indoor themed mini golf bowling alleys are there?
See, that's the thing. They do the combination of all these different amenities, so then they can be the world's largest.
And I always had this idea, and I pitched this to Jimmy, is we should do the opposite, the world's smallest. I want to make the world's smallest park.
How are you going to make money then?
No, it's not about making money. It's about the thrill of changing the world.
Money's what it's about, brother.
No, listen, here's what you do. You go to your town and say, give me a 1 inch by 1 inch plot of land. And then you make a micro park. So you get all like tiny benches, like very, very small.
A park for ants?
Yeah, that's the point. And then the plaque is bigger than the park. So the plaque says, here lies the smallest park in America.
That'd be so cool.
Would people not drive out off the highway a little bit just to see that little park?
Probably not.
That's something I would stop for. Like, I gotta go see the smallest park.
It's the smallest park in the world.
If you can get like the Guinness Book of World Records to like make it official, that'd be awesome.
Dude, I swear if I was the mayor of a town, I could get some foot traffic going through. Just give me a little bit of a budget. The world's smallest park. You're telling me right now if Montclair didn't make the world's smallest park randomly.
Yeah, like all of us would definitely be there.
We gotta go
That's
see
something
this
we would check out.
But also it would be on Good Morning America. They'd be like, now over to Montclair, New Jersey, where they have the world's smallest park.
But then what do people do at the world's smallest park?
You just get a picture next to it.
That's it.
I think you'd have a solid 10 people a day would stop by.
Would you like fill the park with like different animals? Like the animals that could fit?
No.
Like ants and maybe. Well, how small are you talking? You said one
here's
by
the
one?
thing. I was thinking like really small, yeah. But the thing is,
Maybe
if it's
an
too
ant
small,
park.
people could just stomp on it and break it. So you'd have
That's
to.
the thing. It's going to take is one stupid teenager to step on it. Then what are you going to do? Arrest him?
I mean, if it's that small, you can just replace everything.
You have to have copies like ready to just bring in.
But I think my point is the world's smallest thing is a gimmick after a certain point because everybody or world's largest. It's always like, oh wow, and people make records for random stuff.
Yeah,
the world's largest mini golf course. It's like,
this place does look pretty massive though. And it's right next to Supercharged and Topgolf. Like that whole area in Edison is kind of just turning into the world's largest everything.
Yeah.
It's like a museum over there. It's a mess.
Yeah, so play and leisure reached exciting new heights today as Albatross, the world's largest indoor-themed mini putting and luxury bowling destination, officially opened its doors in Edison, New Jersey. The highly anticipated grand opening celebration took place Wednesday, the 18th, drawing a crowd including Edison Mayor Sam Joshi. Now, this mayor is getting around, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we do a story with him every week.
Yeah, he's really...
Edison's just taking over.
Ideally situated at the 991 US 1 in Edison, right next to the Albatross affiliate venue, Supercharged, which is what you were talking about, Josh.
We talked about Supercharged for a while before it opened up, too.
It's spanning more than 50,000 square feet. It offers immersive themed mini putting, upscale bowling, elevated dining, craft cocktails, vibrant nightlife, seamlessly blending competitive play with sophisticated leisure all under one roof.
Ooh.
So Albatross is a game changer for Edison, bringing world-class entertainment, over 350 jobs, and energy to our entire community, said Edison Mayor Joshi. It's truly exciting to welcome a destination that not only enhances our local economy with an estimated taxes of $175,000, but also gives families, friends, and visitors a new and exciting place to connect and have fun. We're proud Edison is home to such a dynamic and innovative venue. So this destination is going to have 18 spectacular themed mini putting attractions. So I'm guessing that's like 18 holes of mini golf, but each of them is going to have a theme.
Probably. That sounds pretty cool.
Like this one's 70s theme.
Yeah.
This one's going to be Wild West.
Oh, well, I don't know.
I'm making that up.
They're not going to have Wild West, unfortunately.
Oh, that didn't make the cut.
I'm making sure of it.
They're also going to have 32 lanes of upscale luxury bowling to a full-service restaurant and a bar serving a wide selection of craft spirits and cocktails. So yeah, guys, if you're looking for a night out, this might be your move this weekend. The Albatross.
What is luxury bowling?
I was gonna say maybe you wear like a tuxedo. You already got the shoes, right? Like maybe it's just like you complete the fit.
Yeah, that's it. They have a dress code.
If you think about bowling, it really was like, hey, let's make the shoes really fancy, right? Like you think about the bowling shoes, they really are. If they weren't red and white, if they were black, you could wear them to a wedding any day.
Yeah.
So maybe the thought here is we're going to complete that whole function.
Or they just like using the word luxury.
It just looks like a fancy bowling alley. It's very interesting.
Well, as we know, in our world, if you throw luxury in front of anything, you create a whole new category of that thing.
And you could charge more.
It's not an apartment. It's a luxury apartment.
Interesting.
So Josh is watching videos over there.
I know. It looks. I know. It looks pretty cool.
So maybe we'll have to stop by and check it out. Yeah. I just avoid 1 and 9 like the plague.
Yeah, especially that area. Like rush hour, you don't want to touch 1 and 9. And then you have a severe thunderstorm, and then 1 and 9 gets flooded. Your car gets stuck. You're going to be waiting in traffic there for like 2 hours trying to just get to Albatross. I guess now you just have to make a little detour, go to Albatross, wait until the floodwaters go down.
It's perfect.
Route 1 is a wreck.
And gas ain't free.
Love New Jersey, baby.
Let's move on to the real news here, guys. A heat dome is coming to New Jersey as temperatures are finally expected to soar into the hundreds.
This is what all you guys get for complaining that it's been in the 60s and it hasn't felt like summer yet. Here you go.
You're getting summer.
We're getting summer. We're getting sunshine. The rain's going away. We're here, baby. Let's go.
Awful.
I'm excited for the heat dome.
Do you guys even know what a heat dome is? Because it's going to be big.
I have to give credit to the weather community. They tend to come up with the most amazing names for different weather
really cool.
events.
Bomb cyclone.
Yeah, a bombogenesis, a bomb cyclone, a heat dome. Like it just feels like they go,
oh yeah,
a new phenomenon is happening. Let's think of a really cool name. And the branding is always on point.
It's great.
So what is a heat dome, Josh Chumwick?
Well, it's actually in our article if you want to explain it to us.
I wanted you to give us the clip.
No, because I'm going to say something that doesn't even make sense. So I'm going to stutter over it. You have the correct language here.
Okay.
Because technically, I'm not a meteorologist.
But I'm
you're not a lawyer.
But I'm not a rapper.
You're not a lawyer. I'm not a meteorologist.
A dangerous heat wave is expected to scorch the Northeast in a heat dome later this week, just in time for the start of summer 2025 on June 20th.
Dun, dun, dun.
Temperatures in New Jersey are expected to swell into the upper 90s and 100s on Monday, June 23rd, and coupled with oppressive humidity, a heat dome, and plenty of blistering sunshine, the heat index or feels like temperature will likely reach 110 degrees, according to NOAA.
Everyone's been whining about how cold it's been in New Jersey. Here is your moment to get some sunshine and get some heat.
New Jersey is expected to have its first heat wave of 2025, and a heat dome is expected to develop over the eastern U.S., according to the Weather Channel. Excessive heat and humidity are expected to build strength this weekend and last several days, according to meteorologists with the National Weather Service. So temperatures are going to be near 100 degrees on Monday, and coupled with the humidity, like I said, it's going to feel more like 110 degrees.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty brutal. Not fun for running.
So I think what's funny about the weather now, our generation, I remember when I was in high school, we watched all the like the early global warming documentaries in my science classes. Did you guys have to watch all those? Like who killed the electric car? Do you guys remember that one?
No.
There were all these big
I might be a little too old for this. I don't remember any of this.
No, this was like 2009 maybe.
Maybe.
Or like the Michael Moore documentaries. What was his big Fahrenheit 9/11 or whatever?
I actually have never seen that one.
Yeah, it was just like all the Al Gore stuff. Global warming.
Day After Tomorrow.
Global warming, the topic was so climate change, right? It went from global warming to climate change. It was such a prevalent topic when we were growing up that now any weather pattern that's weird, we're like, all right, it's over. I just feel like that's the way people think now.
Probably.
It's like, oh, it's raining too much. What's going on? Like, oh, it's the world is changing, and then we're having a bomb cyclone of heat. A
lot of people are just like seeing all these trends, and they're like, yeah, like we're really going downhill here.
I don't know though, but like that's my point is like it's almost like what is the term? What's the bias? Something
Confirmation bias?
It's confirmation bias. It's like, did weird weather patterns always happen where there was like, oh, we're going to have a week where it's 110 degrees? Or is this abnormal?
Yeah, I don't have the stats to back it, but yeah, I think like we've always had like some like look at like snowstorms too. Like we had like, our biggest blizzard was back in like 2016.
It's almost like when people are like, oh, crime is getting worse, and then you look at crime stats and you're like, not really. Things are getting kind of better.
So Josh, tell us what a heat dome actually is, because the viewers are anxiously waiting to know what a heat dome is.
All right, give me a second here.
Enough with the sass.
So a heat dome occurs when a persistent region of high pressure traps heat over an area, causing it to sink toward the surface, according to NOAA. The sinking air acts as a dome, capping the atmosphere, trapping heat, and leaving very little chance of rain.
It's going to be great. It's going to be hot.
So
didn't that just like pump you up?
So what does that mean, high pressure in weather terms, Josh? Well, I know there's like pressure systems.
Yeah, you got a high pressure system and
what
you
does
have a
that
low
mean?
pressure system. Well, just think about it in like simple terms. High pressure is a clockwise movement. So it's going clockwise, spinning, and usually it correlates with no rain, no storms. Like it's just kind of dry. And when you have a low pressure, it's it's spinning the opposite direction, and that's where you got storms. So high pressure, it's not going to rain, it's going to get hot, and
so that's all just airflow. How the air is traveling determines the pressure flow.
And spinning.
Interesting.
So fun.
What do you guys want to do for this heat dome? Do you guys want to make a video or go like?
I think it's the only thing to do.
I would love to fry an egg on the sidewalk.
Do you think it's gonna be that hot?
I don't know. It depends. If Monday really does get into the hundreds, we have it's possible.
Listen, that is a really good viral video idea.
Don't ever touch my arm again like that. We haven't done that in the Garden State yet.
We should go fry an egg.
Yeah.
If we can, that would be a really good video.
Yeah.
That would be good.
I'll hit you up.
Okay. We could even fake it if it doesn't work.
Why are you saying that on the pod? Now people can know.
Because then we could just get 1 million views.
We'll take a flame. We'll heat up the ground even hotter than it needs to be. And then we'll just put the egg down.
I love it.
Hey, that's what all these news stations do. It's all fake.
I would love I survived the Great Heat Dome 2025 t-shirt.
It'd be great.
And all I got is this lousy t-shirt. Moving on here. We're chipping away at the news. Former Senator Bob Menendez has arrived at prison to begin serving his 11-year sentence.
Wow. So we were talking about it earlier. You guys think he's going to serve all 11 years? Or like how long do you think he'll actually be in prison for?
I'm going to put my money on 5 years. 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I would say around the
Does
same.
Kalshi have anything, any betting odds on this one, or you don't think so?
Betting.
Would they have it?
I feel like they would. They
It's
have
something that you
they
would
literally
find
have the most random stuff that you could bet on.
I don't see anything for it, but that is something they would have. Usually, I mean, that's too long term. I feel like you'd have to wait all those years to figure it out.
Yeah,
I think that's where the market gets weird. But you guys will remember Bob Menendez from the Gold Bar incident, and being an agent of Egypt.
I forgot about that.
and the nickname Gold Bar Bob.
Oh yeah,
it's a good nickname.
It's a cool name. See, that's the issue with breaking the law in Jersey. You're gonna get a funny nickname.
Yeah.
Like, people are too funny here. So the Federal Bureau of Prisons confirmed that Menendez was in custody at the Federal Correctional Institution. I can't even say that. Schuylkill? Schuylkill.
I'm assuming.
In Minersville, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, the Schuylkill River.
Jimmy, you're so smart.
That's why they call him Jimmy Parks.
So the Federal Bureau of Prisons confirmed that Menendez was in custody at the Federal Correctional Facility, Schuylkill, in Minersville, Pennsylvania. The facility has a medium security prison and a minimum security prison camp. Given the white-collar nature of the crimes, it's likely he'll end up in the camp. So the prison is about 118 miles west of New York City. It's home to about 1,200 inmates, including ex-New York City organized crime boss James Coonan and former gas station owner Gurmeet Singh Dinsha, whom New York Post dubbed Gas Station Gotti for his ruthless, violent ways.
Got some big names in this spot, bro. Menendez got some good company.
The news is so funny. Gas Station Gotti.
That's awesome.
Wow, they're going to have so much fun.
They're going to have a blast. They might become besties.
Like, here's the thing is with criminals, you know, those types of white-collar criminals that find really clever ways to break the law, they have to have some interesting conversations. And while they're in the
I was gonna say
clink.
it's probably dangerous putting them together because they're gonna start
They could,
scheming on
they'll
other
scheme
stuff.
something massive for the state.
I mean, something has to happen. So Menendez is maintaining his innocence. Last week, a federal appeals court rejected his last-ditch effort to remain free on bail while he fights to get his bribery conviction overturned. A 3-judge panel on the Second U.S. Court of Appeals denied his bail motion. So Menendez is going to the clink. There's not much that can really be done here. You know, he is. It sounds like, so the article says Menendez is also angling for a pardon from President Donald Trump, aligning himself with the Republicans' criticisms of the judicial system. These politicians, wherever the wind blows, like Bob Menendez is now aligning with Trump. What is going on? To me, this is just
So
crazy.
wait, I'm confused. So did he actually start serving that prison sentence?
Well, yeah, he arrived at prison, man. He's going in.
Oh, wow.
He's going in. He's going in.
Do you remember him taking that angle where he was like, they're like saying to Trump, they're targeting me like they're targeting you and all
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
Like, he's just
It's really
grasping
funny.
at anything he could get.
I still think the most iconic Bob Menendez moment is him singing in front of the Taj Mahal.
Yes, hands down.
What a piece of lore to exist.
Never enough.
Hands down.
That was a hit.
What was he singing?
Never enough. I think it was from
How's
The
it go?
Greatest Showman.
I remember you.
No,
Was that on there?
no, it was from The Greatest Showman.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking of something else.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. We don't have to play it again.
I think we can. I think we have the time to play
It's
this.
definitely a Greatest Showman song. I might
Senator,
be wrong about
this
which
is
one it was.
Get everybody in the picture.
Yeah.
Once they're done.
Won't you share this with me? 'Cause darling, without you, all the shine of a thousand sparkles.
I've heard enough.
Here's the thing with
Imagine like being in the prison cell next to him. You start hearing.
He starts singing that, so he goes to sleep.
wait, so you're saying you're out in Pennsylvania and this is where you
Once they're done.
Okay, here's what I want to know is the
talking
Taj
the Taj
Mahal,
Mahal.
right? When was the Taj Mahal built?
I was going to say 1990.
1990.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Stupid.
Are you
1643. So it's an incredible structure, right? People travel from all around the world to see this white marble structure. And can you imagine in your mind going, we're going to sit in front of the Taj Mahal? And that's where the proposal is going to happen. It just feels like disrespectful to the Taj.
It's a pretty epic proposal spot, though.
And I mean,
it is. He just went about it terribly.
Respect.
And I always wonder, like, well, you think about someone like this, like politicians, they must get glazed so much that they just lose sight of like cringe stuff. Don't you think?
Well, yeah, he probably doesn't think that's cringe. He probably thought he crushed it.
He probably has so many yes men around him going, "Oh, you're the best."
Oh yeah, 100%.
He goes to the Taj Mahal and sings, and like even his own family is not able to be like, "Hey, Dad, that was really."
I wonder if his wife was impressed with it.
She
She said
married him.
yes, so I guess.
Yeah, and she's going down with him. She got a Mercedes Benz out of the whole.
Yeah, that's why
shebang.
she said yes. I'm sure.
So
Gold Bar Bob.
that would be if it wasn't related to crime. That's a really cool nickname. Like
That's amazing.
That's old Gold Bar Bob over there.
Imagine like Jimmy one day gets arrested and the headlines
Oh,
are
we're making a nickname so quick.
Jimmy Parks from the Garden State. Like everyone's gonna be like Jimmy Parks. That's a cool name.
No, it depends on the crime. Like if he robs a bank, you know, we'd call him like
Or
Jimmy.
he illegally cuts down a tree in a park.
That's-
So he's like Jimmy
Ooh.
Parks.
That's something he
That's
would do.
his thing.
That is what I would do.
So let's move on to our last story of the week here. This is a really sad one, kind of crazy.
Happened last week.
I hadn't heard about this until Josh shared the story with me. A Long Branch, New Jersey beach shooting took the life of a TikTok influencer last Thursday.
Horrible.
And this was like at 9 p.m. on a Thursday on a beach, and it's a terrible story.
Yeah, and the really eerie part is he filmed a video of himself laying on the beach just hours before he would die.
Yeah.
Posted on TikTok.
Really sad.
Super strange. So Christopher White, 18, the victim of the shooting on the Long Branch Beach Thursday night, had a growing presence on TikTok, nearly reaching the milestone of 100,000 followers, what some in the industry regard as a macro influencer. The people who followed him and many who didn't know him but suddenly found him on their For You pages are collectively grieving and offering support on the platform. That last TikTok White posted received 4,500 comments by Monday morning, thousands of condolence messages through Gen Z's dominant medium of expression. So White of North Brunswick was gunned down just before 9 p.m. Thursday between the shoreline and the boardwalk on Chelsea Beach at Pier Village. White was found with a single gunshot wound. According to the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office, he died at the scene. The killer hasn't been found, so this is actually maybe a great place to share this, where people can help us figure out who did this. Authorities have not offered a motive for the killing, although videos circulating on social media show a scuffle, it says, but it's a fight, on the beach that evening. This article weirdly is downplaying this. So what happened here? There's a fight on the beach. This kid gets shot, and we have no idea who did it.
Yeah, so we don't really know what caused the fight, or like if it was a planned thing, or like people like came up to him and just started fighting him. No idea. And I've been looking for information about it, and there's not much out there. It's really sad.
Pretty strange. So, really, really sounds like the type of thing where I wouldn't be surprised if in some way he knew the other kids, or there was a history or something. I don't want to speculate, but it just seems random that you're on the beach. Or I guess people get in fights all the time, right? People get into arguments.
Yeah, there's fights, but like most of the time, like a fight's gonna end. Like it could be a fist fight or something. You don't think someone's just gonna get shot on the beach at Long Branch? It's terrible.
Is there any way they don't find out who the shooter was?
I wonder. There's got to be so many cameras in the area too.
They said that there were video of the fight. Like, I would assume you could.
It's crazy.
At least get some image of the person.
Is that fight footage online still? Do you think? Like, is this like going around?
I didn't see any videos of the fight. I don't know if it was filmed. Because I was looking for that too. I couldn't find anything. I just saw like the crime scene. There was no fight videos.
Interesting. Well, it's nonetheless, it's just a waste of a life.
That's horrible.
Really sad.
He graduated from Woodbridge High School in 2024.
Just graduated high school, now dead. And this is the thing. Kids have amped up the temperature like crazy recently. I feel like on one hand you have kids that they talk crazy on the internet because they've never encountered real life craziness, and then you have other kids that have been brainwashed by the online craziness and they think it's normal to go around with like a gun and it's like it's just crazy. I'm pretty surprised this happened. And we'll have to just see if they're able to track down the killer here.
Hopefully they do. Yeah. Because it's a terrible situation.
Do you have any insights over there, Jordan?
About this?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were a big Long Branch guy, so I'm just making.
I am.
Just we want to check in with you.
I wasn't there, so
hey, don't get offended.
I have no idea what happened.
Hey, don't get mad.
I'm not mad.
You're starting to get a little fired up right now.
You're trying to fight me right now?
I will never fight you.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, just making sure. We're good?
Yeah.
So,
all right, cool.
We're chilling.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's not much more information about it. Like it is what it is. It's so sad. And also 9 p.m. It's like in that area, when you're on Pier Village, the last thing you expect, you're like walking the boardwalk 9 p.m. You're having a good time, a shooting on the beach.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
But I feel like that area specifically around Pier Village has gotten kind of crazy recently.
I haven't been in years. Like I just don't go to that beach anymore. But
Same.
like I feel like it's always crowded.
If you go early, like it's nice. But like now, I'm like, I remember in years past, like all like those.
They had some of those pop-up parties there too. There's been some craziness over there. So maybe the kids are starting to take over.
Destroying police cars, like attacking people.
You guys want to do some TikTok journalism and watch a video of someone talking about it real quick?
See if this guy's anything good to say.
See if he has any new info. I'm curious.
TikTok influencer Chris White is no longer with us after an altercation broke out at Long Beach, New Jersey. This all took place at Pier Village in New Jersey, and witnesses say that the fight got pretty heated and a weapon got brought out. Even more devastating, just one day ago, this is what Chris White was posting about, looking forward to his birthday in 2 days. Anytime I did see Chris on my timeline, he was always showing good vibes, good positive energy, trying to spread love and positive messages to his followers. And his followers are definitely feeling the loss because they're already commenting all over his social media, RIP, and to please come back. Even more heartbreaking, this happening at him only being 18 years old. One of his last posts was very cryptic as well, saying, "I know, man, I've just got this crazy confidence that everything will work out in the end." That was just 1 day ago. The fact that he was looking forward to his birthday and he won't be able to celebrate it this year is actually so sad. Please be careful out this summer, you guys. I can't believe that now we can no longer have fair fights because everybody's just trying to get to that devil level.
Fair
pulling out.
fight.
That's a weird point.
Yeah, that's a really weird
Wait,
take.
yeah, it kind of just took a turn there. It's
That's a strange
like
take.
we shouldn't be fighting at all.
Guys, it's sad. It's really...
Don't do it. Don't, Josh. Inappropriate. Don't do it.
I know. I thought about it for a second.
No,
I still have the Bob Menendez video.
He was
on my
about to play it.
desktop. I don't know why. There's a feeling inside me that wanted to play
Brother.
it. But no, that was a weird take. You can't have fair fights anymore. I mean, that is the point of a fight this is the thing with, like, if you engage in a fight, even just a fist fight, people could die.
Yeah.
You know, you hear this all the time, like someone
hit someone the wrong way.
Or they fall and hit their head and they die. They hit their head on concrete and they die. And it's like, oh, you're getting manslaughter charge. It's like the best form of self-defense is just to not engage in a fight. Just get out of there. These young kids want to get into everything. It's just stupid, you know? And
can we just go back to the days of like tickle wars or like tickle fights? Like first person to laugh like loses or something like that? Like, come on. What was the thing in The Office where Daryl was explaining to Michael about like tickle wars or something like that? Remember that? And Michael totally believed him. But you know what I'm talking about, right? There was like some sort of like tickling something. Nonetheless, yeah, it's terrible.
That's the end of this week's episode. Thank you everybody for listening. Have a great weekend. Put on some sunscreen. Enjoy the heat. Get to the beach. And we'll catch you next Friday with more New Jersey news. Have a great weekend. Later. See ya.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.